Hey, good evening everyone. My name is Nasser Falasi, and now we're up to the ratio analysis, which is a third phase of analyzing a company's portfolio pretty much. It consists of income statement and balance sheet. We're going to look at that right now of the Perri company, Perri Co. And yeah, so over here you can see they have the income statement and the balance sheet. The four main types of ratios. Now, a ratio is a tool pretty much used to analyze a company compared to different companies or even its previous years, as we're doing right here. So the profitability and return on capital ratio is how much money a company is able to make through its sales. The liquidity ratio is how liquid the company is and how it can pay off its current asset to its current debt. The working capital ratio is how fast can a company sell its inventory and how fast it can pay off its or receive its receivables and liabilities. And then the gearing is how much the company's ownership, thus the risk, is being owned by the lenders and the owner himself. So in 2010, as you can see, return on equity, I'm not going to go too much detail about them, but the return on equity from 6% to 9%. The return on equity shows how much the company is generating profits through the shareholders' money and investments, which means that money invested, as you can see here, the net income has increased. However, the shareholders' equity is pretty much the same. It just increased by a little bit. So this is an indication that the money invested is being used more efficiently, you can say. This is a great incentive for investors to actually invest in this company. The gross profit margin, it's a margin used to indicate how much of the total revenue or the income, the percentage of pretty much each dollar, how much are they getting back, taking out all the cost of goods sold and the profits and all that. So as you can see, in 2011 it's more than 2010. Sometimes this doesn't mean that it's better, but in this situation, since the total revenues is actually higher and the net income is actually a lot higher, so it's pretty much a good sign. The net profit margin is how much money is kept in the company as compared to the total revenue. So we have the product sales over here, and then compared to the net income. So after you get the money itself, how much of the sales is actually left? So over here it's 32%, and then it's 45%. This could be because, as you can see here, the cost of goods is much lower. So the company is actually retaining more of the profits as from sales. We're going to continue to liquidity ratio. We have current ratio and quick ratio. Current ratio is how well can a company pay off its short-term debt or liability. It's a ratio that means 1.8 times. And it's showing total current asset divided by total current liabilities. Now, as you can see, in 2011, it's much more higher, 3.2 times from 1.8. This is a good indication, although the total current asset has been reduced, so has the total current liabilities, I guess, much more. So it pretty much equals out. Over here, it's been reduced by about $1.5 million. Over here, it's just about $1 million. So the current asset can pay off its current liabilities much better. The quick ratio is how company can pay off short-term debt with its quickest current asset. So it's exactly the same. However, it's reducing inventories, which is not a very liquid asset. So it's reducing the inventories right here. So as you can see, it's 3 and 1. I believe this is primary due because inventory is much higher here, so there's much more to be reduced from, deducted. That's why it's 3. Now, of course, there are many factors that you should also look at, not just these ratios, but this does show a quick indication on how things work, and you're going to see in the following videos about working capital and gearing. Thank you very much.